Okay, hello, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Okay, we are from group 5. I'm a Gabriel Rizky as a moderator, and the second is Lingga Wilanda is the first speaker. Okay, today we would like to deliver about the ethnography research. Okay, sorry, wait a second. Okay, the table of content in this material is the first one is the definition of geography research, and the second is purpose of ethnography research, and the third is characteristic ethnography, and the fourth is ethnography as a method, and the next is methodological of ethnography, and the next is data collection in ethnography research. Okay, next is critique of ethnography research. The next is example of ethnography research, and the last is conclusion. Okay, for the first speaker, I would like to place time and place. Time and place. It's yours.
Okay, the first is definition of ethnography research. According to David M. Federman, 98, ethnography is the art and science of describing a group or culture. The description may be of small tribal group in an exotic land or a classroom in a middle class urban. So with ethnography research, researchers are assumed to be able to understand the cultural advantage of the community being studied, master the language or technical jargon of the cultural, and have findings based on the comprehensive knowledge of the culture. Okay, next we learn about the purpose of ethnography research. The first is the main purpose of ethnography is to obtain a deep understanding of people and their culture. And second is one distinguishing feature is fieldwork. And the last is in ethnographic research, the context is what defines the situation and makes it what it is. So the next is characteristic of ethnography research. The first is contextual. The research is carried out in the context in which the subject normally live and work. So this means that researchers are able to solve problems and provide conclusions. And second is unobtrusive is the research avoid manipulating the phenomena under investigation. So research that examines the habits of certain people without disturbing the people under study. And the third is longitudinal. The research is relatively long. It's a type of social research that compares change in subject before a time. This kind of research is deliberately used for long-term research because it takes a long time. Okay, the next is collaborative. So the research involves the participation of stakeholders other than the researchers. It's research that is done together to solve a problem. For this reason, the active participation of the research involved in it is very important to ensure the quality of the research result. And the next is interpretative, is the researchers carry out interpretative analysis of the data. So facts are something unique and have special context. Okay, the last is organics. There are interaction between questions or hypotheses and data collection or interpretation. So the next material is ethnography as a method. So the first is people's behavior is studied in everyday on text rather than under experimental condition created by the researchers. And the second is data are gathered from a range of sources, but observation and or relatively conversation are usually the main ones. And the third is the approach to data collection is unstructured. It means that in the data collection process, a detailed plan is not followed. So thank you and back to moderator.
Okay, thank you for the first speaker for the explain about this material. Okay, I'd like to present the next of material about the methodological principle of ethnography research. The first one is naturalism. The meaning is that the aim of social research is to capture the character of naturally occurring human behavior. And the second is understanding. We can understand the situation of the best human background and we not misunderstanding anything to happen in this research. And the third is discovery research is based on inductive or discovery based. Okay, data collection in ethnography research. Okay, the first one, data collecting in ethnography research is based on mainly three types. There are is the first one interview, the second is observation, and the last is document. And in an ethnography research, we can get the data through this kind of tasks, watching what happened or listening to what is said, asking question in informal and informal ways. Okay, the critique of ethnography research. The advantage of ethnography research, the first one is the one of the most valuable aspect in this deep of understanding. And the second is can challenge the taken for granted assumption. Okay, and this advantage of the ethnography research is the first one is takes long, I think. Takes a lot of the time. The second is does not have much breadth. It can be difficult for some to write of the finding for a journal article. Okay, this is the example of ethnography research of the Sasak people. Okay, I would like to read about the ethnography research. Is the first one is the word Sasak is the name of the tribe of the island of Lombok. Sasak people are original inhabitants of the island of the Lombok as well as those who live in the island of Lombok. If we look closely of the various of expression and cultural statement from the its exciting locus, ranging from language, art, history, myth, social structures, and nobility and social organization, architecture, and other with manifest in the Sasak society. It seemed like a phenomenon of diversity, but of history and origin. In this history of this development, Lombok is an island that was colonized directly by the Prime Minister of the Majapahit Kingdom and the Governor of Gajah Mada. Okay, the traditional agrarian Sasak community believe that every space and landscape, macro and micro, sorry, has a focus of the orientation with at the same time a center of integration. Rinjani area is a research of various basic needs of life, I'm sorry, that dens forest in a store of water and a warehouse for wood and a logistic and minimal logistic, which has provide fertility and prosperity of the surrounding nature and everything. For Sasak people, the Rinjani area is believed to be a Pasak Bumi or Pasak Bumi in Indonesia, as well as in a pile mother of the earth. Okay, this cosmological view in the basic of the idea that this and us, the earth was formed from land and only and is more concerned with land. In effect, the earth consists of the ocean and land. Okay, the development of fairy tales about the I'm sorry, as a place that is terrible and not guaranteed, make the Sasak people forget the sea and only remember the land. During the Begawe or Sasak traditional event, humanized animals such as cows, goats, chicken, which are part of the mainland and are very design. They never even use fish or marine organism or as a food served in the Begawe or Sasak traditional event. Okay, the cosmological of the Sasak people on only got the mainland and are not all interested in the sea. The proofs the Sasak people forgot about the sea and So their looks tend to get to see based on this view. It can be said an ethnography in the Sasa community is more about how to survive in the mainland. Okay, the qualitative, okay, for the last is the conclusion. Qualitative research is using ethnographic method is expected to be able to find new concept, the theories based on the culture of society. Considering that qualitative, I am to produce new theories, not testing, developing the theories. That is the last conclusion. Okay, thank you for the attention. If you wanna ask the question, please drop the question in the box comment below. Okay, we are from group 5. We close. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.